ICRW was founded in 1976 to fill an enormous gap in research on women and girls and global development by providing evidence showing that women were not fully benefiting from economic development programs, and that consequently, many programs were not achieving desired outcomes. Research shows that women are integral to alleviating global poverty. Women are powerful forces within their communities. When they have opportunities to improve their lives, everyone benefits. When they are able to earn an income and control how it is used, their children are more likely to finish school. Their families eat better. They stay healthy. Communities thrive and nations prosper. ICRW seeks to promote a world free of poverty in which women and men, girls and boys have equal opportunities to achieve their potential and realize their rights. We've made great strides towards this goal, but there is more work ahead. To achieve gender equality around the world, more research and solutions are needed. When ICRW's research reaches governments, donors, development organizations, it increases the impact of policies and programs to help women and girls in poor and underdeveloped communities across the world. There's an urgent need for communication of ICRW's research because limited resources are driving unprecedented demand for evidence and practical advice on empowering women and girls. ICRW aims to disseminate evidence on strategies for development programs and increase global awareness to set the agenda on women's issues moving forward. ICRW plays a critical role as a think and do tank. Through research, we reveal the unique needs of women and girls and identify ways to make policies and programs more gender transformative. We translate research findings into practical, policy-relevant recommendations and assist in designing, implementing, and evaluating initiatives with the potential for replication and scale-up in all sectors. ICRW's expertise and the evidence we produce enables us to demonstrate why it's important to promote the rights of women and girls, what is needed to bring about meaningful change, and how to achieve outcomes efficiently and effectively. ICRW's effectiveness stems from its ability to fundamentally shift the way women and girls live in low-income societies across the world. Our research transcends borders and has the power to influence policies and programs benefiting women and girls the world over and for generations to come. Through research, we mobilize global partners, from development agencies and corporations to grassroots organizations and governments to achieve development objectives. A central feature of ICRW's approach is working with partners at all levels to test strategies that enhance their activities and impact, and to conduct research on women and girls that guides development policy and practice worldwide. When our evidence-based recommendations are implemented by organizations on the ground, adopted by donors funding development programs, and are heeded by governments making policy that affect millions of women and girls, we know our work is making a real difference. We measure our success not only through direct improvements for individuals like Kasanesh, a 17-year-old child bride in Ethiopia who now has access to an education program teaching her how to lead a healthier, more productive life. We also measure our success by our ability to affect millions of women around the world in the decades to come through change in social policy, such as India's domestic violence law, which ICRW helped write. The strength of ICRW's research is its practical applicability. Unlike academic institutions which conduct research for theory, ICRW translates its research and broadcasts the findings and recommendations to policymakers and practitioners affecting the social and economic well-being of women and girls worldwide. ICRW also emphasizes that our research builds on the importance of including men and boys in programs to transform gender norms. ICRW has made great achievements since its founding. Our evidence showed for the first time that the unique needs of millions of women-headed households were not being factored into global development programs. ICRW's experts first brought international attention to the urgency of battling the HIV and AIDS pandemic by addressing the distinct vulnerabilities of women confronting the disease. We have been instrumental in emphasizing the importance of working with men and boys to end violence against women and girls. Most recently, our research and advocacy on the harmful practice of child marriage, which affects millions of young girls every year, helped ensure that ending the practice was part of the Violence Against Women Act, recently reauthorized by Congress. Recently, an unprecedented number of organizations, corporations, and institutions are working to advance women and girls globally, which is an unequivocally positive shift. However, we find that many organizations interested in advancing the status of women and girls often lack the research and capacity required to turn their good intentions into action. In an increasingly crowded marketplace, we are spending more time and resources on amplifying our institutional voice and distinguishing ICRW from other resource organizations. Since ICRW's funding is primarily project-based, there's an ongoing need for unrestricted funding to support work on emerging but often overlooked issues affecting women and girls. While project funds allow ICRW to execute focused research, they don't fuel the thought leadership, dissemination, and policy advocacy that have been ICRW's hallmarks since its inception. ICRW is most in need of resources to propel such innovation and thought leadership to develop the next generation of research on gender equality, social justice, and women's health and rights to advance the field. ICRW would be able to build out the evidence on factors preventing women and girls from contributing to social and economic development. Critical areas that ICRW has begun to focus on include the benefits that innovation and technology have on women, and the challenges to increasing women's effective political participation and civic engagement. These areas provide just a taste of the next generation of research that ICRW will pursue as we continue to shape efforts for gender equality, social justice, and women's rights worldwide.